Namaste. The light and love of the divine in me honors and greets the light and love of the divine in each and every one of you this morning. Thank you for joining us at the Awakening Way spiritual community. We are wonderful. We are a beautiful, special, sacred, new thought spiritual community in the lineage of Dr. Ernest Holmes. And this new thought teaching is a teaching that allows us to live in a way that is so sacred and holy. And I'm thinking about these words now because, of course, we're in the holy season. You know, when we move into this holy season, we are aware of the sacredness around us, of the light and the colors and all of that. But what we forget is when the season is over, those lights, those qualities and all of that are still within us. And so this new thought teaching allows us to move into the truth and the reality that everything good that we can imagine, every good quality that we value is in us already. And the other thing is that it's in everybody else too, which is another thing that we forget. So this teaching allows us to open to that reminder of the truth of being for all of life, that there is only one life, that life is God, that life is perfect, and that life is our life right now, always right now, because it's always right now, isn't it? And this teaching involves learning ways to maneuver through life, through situations, through world situations, national situations, personal situations, ways and strategies and practices that can help us stay focused on the truth of that magnificence that we are. And so we have gatherings like this where we can feel uplifted with a message and with the music, and isn't it uplifting to look at one another? I mean, that's just that in itself is such a gift and such a treat. We have classes. We haven't had very many, but we plan on adding a few more workshops and classes on Zoom when the new year begins. And these classes are all designed to help us maintain that consciousness of oneness, that consciousness of unity and wholeness, that we are part of that indivisible wholeness. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. Whether you're here for the first time or you've been here a million times, we're just grateful that you're here, and whatever brought you here and wherever you go when this little gathering is over for now, for this perfect moment in time. Welcome home. We've been waiting for you. Thank you for being here. So we like to begin each Sunday with just a brief little meditation and an invocation. And I like to read from Ernest Holmes because, he is the founder of our teaching, and his words have a way of just opening us to the truth of being. And so I'd like to just begin with a reading from Ernest Holmes. And he says, "It doesn't matter what we call it, so long as we remember that there is a secret place of the Most High within us, and that we may consciously enter it by merely knowing that we are already there. This is the place where the universe meets us in its wholeness without any restriction whatever. This is the place where the all delivers everything that it is to us." And so I invite you, if you are comfortable, to just allow your eyes to softly close and take that big, deep cleansing breath, big breath in, and hold it right at the top for just a second, and then let it go completely. And just feel your body relax. Just feel your shoulders drop. Feel all tension leave the body. Feel your heart become warm and open, and your mind spacious and clear. And we just breathe. And as Dr. Holmes reminded us, whatever it is that we call that something greater than we are, it is in us always, as us always. It surrounds us. It is in everything we see, in everything we hear, in everything we touch, in everything we imagine even. It is the universe itself, and the universe is beyond that. It is all one by whatever name we call it. And all of those qualities that are so precious to us, love and peace and joy and happiness, beauty, all of those divine and sacred qualities live and dwell in us right here and right now. And this morning we open ourselves wholly, fully, and completely to experience all the good, all the amazing goodness that this morning is bringing us. We celebrate the message from Delan this morning, who brings his consciousness, his peace, and his wisdom to all of us. And we are so grateful for that message. We know that everything moves beautifully, peacefully, and deeply in all of us as we listen to his words. We give thanks for the music that always lifts us and brings us higher and higher. We give thanks for all of the faces that we see. We're so grateful for one another, for this community, for this sense of brotherhood and sisterhood that we feel. It just lights us up right from where we are. And so knowing that everything is already whole, perfect, and complete, is already filled with light and love, I just allow it all to be so. And knowing it so, I simply say, and so it is. Amen.
So it is.
The spring bird still sings her song. The pouring rain still falls to the ground. A soft breeze still refreshes our skin. This all still brings a peace from within. And still we carry on, and still we carry on. The green grass still grows at the same speed. The billowy clouds still move with nothing to impede. The frogs in the evening still croak their vital songs, while darkness of night still says another day gone. And still we carry on, and still we carry on, and still we carry on, and still we carry on. With gratitude as our steering wheel, may we always see the goodness so revealed. With gratitude as our steering wheel, may we always see the goodness of all things real. Smoke from the chimney still flows up to the sky. Leaves on the trees still still fall when they fly. The ocean tide still laps at my feet. The fragrance of flowers still smells so sweet. And still we carry on. 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 Be still and carry on.
I just want to start by thanking everyone for your love and support. You know, Awakening Ways means the world to me. And I really appreciate each one of you guys. So I want to start with that. But last week's talk was, the song came up, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. And I just feel like that was such an important thing to feel, that love that this world is, with everything that's going on right now. This year is a very strange year. And as that song was rattling through my head afterwards, I started thinking about the next line in that song. And it's talking about love, and it says, "It's the only thing that there's just too little of." And that got me thinking. This month's seed of awakening is miracles. So I'll just read the definition from Oxford's dictionary. A miracle is a surprising and welcome event that cannot be explained by natural or scientific laws, and is therefore considered to be the work of divine agency. And I kind of like that, because I believe that divine agency is love. And I believe that love is exactly what the world and each one of us is made of. Do you get that? That each one of us is actually made of this love. So how could there be too little of it? So I don't think that's what the problem is. But I want to talk about how we know that the world is made of love. I mean, other than the fact that every Jesus and the Buddha and every spiritual teacher, every enlightened being has been trying to get through to us. But how do we really know? How do we really know for ourselves that love that's in us? I still feel like I'm trying to convince myself of that half the time. And it seems really easy to lose sight of it. And in some ways, I think that feeling that is kind of a gradual awakening. It can happen in fits and starts, but there's a gradual awakening to it. I grew up in Southern California, about 5 miles inland, and I was pretty much always looking for a ride to the beach. And I still love the ocean very much. And I would often make a deal with my parents, that, all right, I'll go to church with you guys if you'll drop me off at the beach afterwards, because the church was on the way to the beach. In fact, it was the Church of Religious Science in Redondo Beach. And the minister there was Dr. Frank Richelieu. So you can imagine what I felt like when I came to Awakening Ways and saw Dr. Frank and heard, "Welcome home, we've been waiting for you." You got me. Anyways, going to church, I had an ulterior motive. And, I was there as a means of getting to the beach. But the interesting thing is that I always felt better. I would go there antsy, but I always got absorbed in what was going on. I got absorbed in the music, even though it wasn't the style of music that I listened to at the time. The talk was, I don't know if I really understood the language and the words, the meaning, but I got something there that was really valuable for me. And I always left feeling a lot better than when I went in. And I think that really opened me. It began to open me to the idea that there are these sacred spaces within us and these places that we create by what we do there. Ernest Holmes said, the greatest gift that life can make to you is yourself. You are a spontaneous, self-choosing center in life, in the great drama of being, the great joy of becoming. You could not ask for more, and more could not be given. And I think that that's what the miracle is. The miracle is you. And the problem is not a lack of love, but it's a need for more love. We're already living in a life made of love. So again, why don't I feel that way all the time? It's a good question. When I was 18 years old, that wonderful time in life when you know everything, it's a good time to go get a job, and because that's when you know everything. And I had figured out at that point that the source of all of my problems, all of my angst, my frustration, whatever it is that I didn't want in life, was probably the fault of other people and my environment, where I grew up, and the traffic, etc. So I had pretty much decided that I needed to get away from all that, and I took a job in Needles on an alfalfa farm for the summer. And I don't know if any of you have ever been to Needles, but it's really hot. And there's, on an alfalfa farm like that, there's like billions of mosquitoes. So you learn to make friends with those guys. And, I was out there with, it was pretty much just me and a pack of misfit dogs and a flashlight doing night irrigation on this farm. And, I really loved the work. I loved the dogs. And I was also, as this city kid, going out to this farm, I was an amazing source of entertainment for my boss. And this guy was an excommunicated Mormon who that whole summer probably said, 15 or 20 words to me. And he really got a kick out of me. One time he went to get tractor parts, which, back in the days before Amazon, it took about 4 days to go drive and get parts for his equipment. So he told me while he was gone to, you go take that backhoe and dig a trench out to where that piece of equipment stuck so we can get some water over under the wheels. Well, I had never been on a backhoe before, and I had never seen one dig a trench. And so you can imagine the earthworks that I created with that thing in 3 or 4 days. And it was funny. He came back, the boss came back, and he's got his cigar in his mouth, and he looks at me, and he looks at the earthworks, and he looks back at me, and he shakes his head and just walked away. Anyways, one of the things that I found there was that I was away from all the people, and I was away from the concrete jungle, but I was not away from my problems. That, it couldn't be my dad that was my problem, because he wasn't there. It wasn't my brother. He wasn't there either. No traffic. No nothing in sight, but the problem was still here in between my ears and in my head. But the funny thing was that once I sort of accepted that I couldn't really escape my problems and that maybe they aren't caused by everyone else and everything else, I did actually find some enjoyment in here, in myself and in what I was doing. And I came to realize that I really do need people, and that there's no real escaping the problems, and that actually connecting with people and connecting with life is a way to sort through some of that stuff. So, I also gained a hazy understanding that wherever you go, there you are. And that whether you're in nature or whether you're in a subway station, that we're the only ones that can make that a sacred space. And we can actually do that. Ernest Holmes said that my invisible good already exists. My faith, drawing on this invisible good, causes that which was unseen to become visible. So that's what I think it really is. I think it's a visibility problem. It's a recognition problem. And that's what we do here, is remind each other of that. But how exactly do we stay in consciousness? And how exactly can we do that in the face of life's drama, right? All that we experience. And this is where meditation comes in for me. As someone who had pretty much convinced himself that, I can't meditate, and I it's just not for me. And I've come over in the last few years, I've overcome that challenge. And so at this point, I'm kind of on a mission to help people with meditation. And I think that what my real problem was is that I thought I needed to be sort of guru-like, before I could sit still and let my mind just clear out a little bit and let it quiet down. But I've come to an understanding that through a gradual process, and that process is not it's not real time consuming. It's not really a massive commitment. We're talking about like 10 minutes a day of meditation. And you really can change your mind. You really can change the way you see the world by meditation. And it's a little by little process. So in an effort to help people with that, and to further my own practice, next year I'm going to be offering, I'm calling it Meditation Lab, because it's kind of experiential, using experiential tools to support each other and help each other both learn to meditate and to strengthen our practice and strengthen our ability to use that as a tool. So, what I recognize is that we humans tend to be really good at recreating the same life that we had yesterday, recreating the same life we had the day before, and last year and the year before that. And, now that we're in the thick of the holiday season, with all of the attendant expectations about the gifts that we give, what we want to get, are we going to like it? Are they going to like it? Was it fair? All of these stresses that we put on ourselves, and then spending time with family, which for many of us can be, a real test of our wokeness. We want it to be valuable, right? We want to be present and love the people that we're with, the people that we're closest with, the people that we love most. So I'd like to share a little something that I've been using to sharpen up my own vision when I seem to fall asleep a little bit. And it comes from an exercise we did in practitioner training, where we wrote about the perfect day. And we did that in detail so that we could really feel what that would feel like if we could plan and have our perfect day, right? And so, you know, it might be some beach somewhere. It might be waking up with coffee in bed or breakfast in bed, or, I mean, it might be spending time on a yacht in the Mediterranean, right? But the idea is to get that feeling that you get from having your best day ever. And here's the twist, is that whatever problem I might be having at any given time, when I catch myself not really present or not really enjoying where I'm at, I can think of that the idea of that perfect day. And really, there's nothing different that's going on where I am now and where this problem seems to be than where I was on that perfect day. The only difference is on the perfect day, I see that stuff differently. I experience it differently. And it's as if this greater expanse of life, right? Understanding that we're involved in this whole life right here, sort of absorbs the problem and gives it a bigger context. And that's really what it is it's taking a minute to realize that there is this wider consciousness where there truly is no problem. And that can make that problem appear differently and give you a little bit more awareness to be with it. You know, what I'm trying to get at here is that real love, that genuine unobstructed desire for the very best for others and the very best for ourselves, is already here in full. That is what and who each of us truly is. And that's the miracle. The miracle is you. So what I thought I would do, and you could probably expect this from me, is use another song to kind of tie this thing together. So what I'd like for you to do is to sit comfortably in your chair and just close your eyes, if you would, and relax. Maybe take a few deep breaths and just let that calm settle in. And keep your vision wide. Open up the vision behind your closed eyes, as if you're gazing into the horizon, and just feel that expansiveness. On a clear day, rise and look around you, and you'll see who you are. On a clear day, how it will astound you. The glow of your being outshines every star. As part of every mountain, sea, and shore, you can see both far and near a world you've never seen before. And on that clear day, on this clear day, you can see forever and ever and ever more. Namaste. Thank you, you guys.
shake it down. Oh, yeah. Here it comes.
Singing in congregation is a vocal celebration. Using imagination is a mental celebration. Celebrate family gratefully. Celebrate life. Celebrate love. Every day, every way. Being alive is a cause for celebration. So celebrate, celebration. Life's a celebration. So celebrate. Life's a celebration. So celebrate. Life's a celebration, so celebrate.
Thank you, guys. Thank you to Jimmy and Soulshine. That was wonderful, as always. Delon, my brother, thank you. That was really, really good. I'm really happy for you, for your first endeavor. I also want to thank Ron. We forget that these things go so smoothly because of Ron Gallagher. Without Ron, it would be a disaster because I'd be in charge. and you wouldn't like that. So I want to thank Ron again because he always holds us together as we do this. I want to remind everybody that next week, Jan Lynch, practitioner Jan Lynch, is going to be speaking. Jan has just, put out a new book, and we're looking forward to that. Also, remember that this is a community that is based solidly in the idea of prayer. We believe strongly in the power of prayer to heal anything in the world. And so if there's anything that you need prayer for, whatever it may be, please either call one of us or just send a prayer request. You can go on to our website or you can just send a prayer request to awakeningways@thegrid.net. Put prayer request in the subject line and then tell us what it is you need prayer for. And all of us on the soul support team will be blessed to pray for you for the next week at least. And if you still need prayer, turn in another prayer request. But remember, if you're asking for prayer for someone else, make sure they know that you're asking for prayer and that they have approved of that. We think of doing prayer work for others as a gift, but only when they are on board with that prayer work. If they don't know it, if they don't want it, we have no idea how much we're interfering with their life experience, with their opportunity to learn something new about what it means to be an awakened human being. And so make sure you get their permission. A reminder that we can't do this every week without your support. This year has been quite good for us in terms of our finances because of you, because of your investment in our community, because of your giving, your love offerings to this community. We have been able to continue on and we'll be able to continue on for the foreseeable future. But we can only do it while your gifts are coming in. So if there's a gift that you want to bring to us, that you want to give to us, you can mail it to Awakening Ways at 7350 El Camino, Suite 101, Atascadero. Or you can go online to our website, and there are several places on our website where there's a PayPal button. Just look for one of those PayPal buttons, and you can painlessly make a gift to us right there and right then. I think that's all the announcements that we have today. Tune in next week for Jan Lynch. And so right now, if you will, I want to ask you to join me. Rather than doing a benediction, I'm going to do a treatment for all of us, because these times that we are in are so precarious for so many people. Let's just close our eyes, if you will. Close your eyes, relax. Take that deep healing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And know with me that there's one divine source of all life, one love, as Delon talked about today, one energy moving through all of creation, for it is all of creation. I know that that is who I am, for I am part of that creation. And I know it's part of each and every person on this call and each and every sentient being on this planet. Two-legged, four-legged, eight-legged, no-legged, winged, finned, it doesn't matter. All sentient beings on this planet are part of that beautiful creation. Right now, there's the appearance in our world of hard times, of a pandemic. I know that that is an appearance created by humanity, created by us, not something that is created by the divine. How do I know that? Because it's a virus, and viruses are not alive. It is rather an appearance that each and every one of us have made ourselves susceptible to. And the news doesn't help with that, does it? So in this moment, I know and I declare for each and every one of us and each person on this planet, each person in our country, that we are part of that creation. And as part of that creation, we are always divinely guided, divinely guarded, held within the light of the divine, the love of the divine. I know this for each and every one of us. I know that this pandemic is even now, as it's at its worst. It's like the solstice, which is coming up later this month. It's always darkest before the light comes back. And that's where we are now. I know this for all of us. And I know for each of us on this call, that as we walk through these next weeks, that we are divinely guided, divinely guarded. We take care of ourselves, and we let God do the rest, holding us in that sacred light of perfect health. For that, I am so grateful. I give thanks. I give thanks to that divine. I give thanks to the unfolding perfection of this experience for all of us, teaching us to come together, teaching us that we are all one, teaching us that there is a higher and more profound truth than we have been listening to. Knowing that that is true, knowing that I've spoken my word of love, that love has spoken and the law has answered, and that answer is a perfect demonstration of divine creation, of perfect life expressing in all as all. I let it go because there's nothing more for me to do. For Spirit does the work, and it's already complete. For we are all Spirit made manifest, and there is nothing to heal, only the truth to be revealed, that we are that. So I release and I let go, and I say, and so it is.